Something concerning is happening with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the fans are starting to lose patience. After a bitter 7-4 loss to the Colorado Avalanche, it became clear that the team is missing a key piece, Chris Tanev. But when is he coming back? And could his absence end up costing the Leafs dearly in the final stretch of the season? Tanev has been out since late February after suffering an upper body injury in a game against the Boston Bruins. Since then, he has already missed 5 games, and his absence has been felt in every single one. The Maple Leafs defense is simply not the same without him, and the numbers prove it. In the last 5 games, the team has conceded 19 goals, an alarming average for a team with playoff aspirations. Head coach Craig Berube finally spoke about the situation, but his statement only made fans more anxious. According to reporter Mark Masters, Berube said, "He's not where he wants to be. We have to be careful. We miss him, but at the same time, we want to do what's best for the player." This response may sound neutral, but in reality, it reveals a concerning detail. There is no clear timetable for Tanev's return, and without him, the Leafs lose much more than just a solid defenseman. They lose a true leader on the ice. Tanev has been the Maple Leafs' most reliable defenseman this season. Always in the right position, always willing to block any shot. He's the kind of player who doesn't show up much in offensive stats, but makes a huge difference in protecting the defensive zone. Without him, the Leafs have struggled with defensive transitions and, most importantly, covering top opposing forwards. But there's one factor that could change everything. While Tanev recovers, the team's new acquisition, Brandon Carlo, has stepped into a crucial defensive role. In his debut, he led the Leafs in ice time, penalty kill minutes, and blocked shots. He's been doing a solid job, but the question is, will that be enough to handle the pressure in the coming weeks? Now, imagine the Maple Leafs with Tanev and Carlo together on defense. This could be the best defensive unit the team has had in 2 decades. With Atlantic Division rivals like the Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning aggressively strengthening their rosters in the final stretch of the season, the Leafs desperately need Tanev back to keep up with the competition. And let's not forget a crucial factor. The playoffs are coming. And in the playoffs, a solid defense makes all the difference. Just look at the last Stanley Cup champions. All of them had well-structured defensive systems. Can the Maple Leafs reach that level? Or could Tanev's absence end up being too costly? The big question is, when will Tanev return? And will he be at 100% when he does? Because it's not just about getting back on the ice. He needs to be at his best to truly impact the team. If he returns while still dealing with physical limitations, the Leafs will remain vulnerable on defense, which could be a major issue against offensively powerful teams. Now, I want to hear your thoughts. Do the Maple Leafs have a real shot at contending with this defense? Or do they still need more reinforcements? Drop your opinions in the comments. This story has everything to become one of the biggest what-ifs of the season. Every time the trade deadline passes, rumors start to surface about deals that almost happened. And one of them involves Mikko Rantanen, one of the best forwards in the NHL. The trade that sent Rantanen to the Dallas Stars was already a shock for many fans. But what happened behind the scenes might be even more surprising. According to Nick Kyprios of Sportsnet, the Toronto Maple Leafs made a serious push and offered an aggressive package to the Carolina Hurricanes. Easton Cowan, Fraser Minton, and 2 first-round picks. A high price, no doubt, but Carolina declined and opted for the Stars package, which had Logan Stankoven as the centerpiece. But here's the detail that could change everything. Carolina wanted more. According to multiple sources, the Hurricanes had a much bigger target in mind. They weren't just looking for young talent and draft picks. The name they truly wanted was Mitch Marner. Yes, Mitch Marner, one of the Maple Leaf stars, one of the most talented players in the NHL, and a fan favorite in Toronto. This was a proposal that caught everyone off guard. Trading Marner for Rantanen wasn't an easy decision, but when it comes to a player of Rantanen's caliber, any team has to at least consider the idea. And that's exactly what the Leafs did. The Maple Leafs front office gathered and analyzed the possibility. The idea of swapping Marner for Rantanen sparked intense internal debate. Rantanen is an incredible player, extremely physical and clutch in the playoffs, something Toronto has been lacking in recent seasons. Additionally, the Leafs might have been looking for a shift in the team's dynamics, as they've struggled to make deep playoff runs despite having a talented roster. But then came the roadblock. Marner has control over his future. He has a no-trade clause in his contract, meaning the Leafs had to talk to him directly before moving forward with any negotiation. What happened next determined the fate of the trade. The team reassured Marner that they wanted to keep him, but they needed to know if he would be open to a move to Carolina. His response was quick and direct. He didn't want to leave. With that, Marner exercised his no-trade clause, and the conversation ended there. The Toronto Maple Leafs had no choice but to move on, and Rantanen ended up getting traded to the Stars. But here's something few people know. This negotiation might have created tension behind the scenes for the Maple Leafs. Some sources close to the team indicate that Marner wasn't happy at all when he found out his name was considered in a trade, even though the team reassured him they wanted to keep him. Situations like this can strain the relationship between a player and the franchise, especially if Toronto doesn't have a strong playoff run. And that raises the big question. Did Toronto make the right call by keeping Marner? Or was this a huge missed opportunity to make a significant change to the team? Meanwhile, the Dallas Stars are celebrating the arrival of Rantanen, believing he could be the missing piece to push them to a championship. And the Carolina Hurricanes, even without Marner, believe that the package featuring Logan Stankoven and other assets was the best choice for the franchise's future. Neither the Maple Leafs, the Hurricanes, nor Marner's agent, Darren Ferris, have commented on the situation. But the lingering thought is, this could have been the biggest trade of the season. Now I want to hear from you. Should Toronto have pushed harder to land Rantanen? Do you think this situation could affect Marner's relationship with the Leafs moving forward? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more breaking NHL updates and trade rumors, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Don't go anywhere. There's another must-watch video on the screen with a huge story you need to check out.